Welcome to an NPSL Extra here on SDH. Sometimes technology gets in the way, and it did last week as we were trying to cover match week 8. And so what we figured we would do before we catch up with our friends for match week 9, and there's some heavyweight matchups happening in match week number 9, is kind of look back at the material that led us into match week number 8. And it's two pieces of tape. First piece of tape is catching up with the Georgia Revolution head coach, Jack Marchant, and getting his thoughts leading into match week 8. And it was a matchup where you're talking about positioning in the Southeast Conference, and it was getting very, very tight, and it is very, very tight for the remaining 2 weeks of the regular season. All three matches, by the way, are going to be on July 1st for match week 9. Friday at Ortho Carolina with Apotheos, and so Hops and Apotheos will know their positioning on July 7 before the two matches on July 8 on Saturday involving 865 Alliance hosting App and Revs and Storm in McDonough. But leading into the match against Apotheos, here was what Jack Marchant said leading into that match at McDonough High School Stadium after the Revs knocked off 865 Alliance by the score of 3-1 in match week 7.
It was the perfect response following the previous week. Performance, attitude, and just overall togetherness from the guys. Again, we had a long week in training, but I think it was really good. You know, we looked at some things off the field as well to help with the cohesiveness of the group, and it was nice that it all paid dividends. I think at times, again, chatted with a few people after the game, you know, sometimes road trips are exactly what you need. You have a small group of guys together for the day, and it makes them want to work for each other and be more willing for each other when we get there. So, you know, it was the perfect response, and it's exactly what we needed.
Yeah, and you get the goal early on in the 17th. I mean, Aaron gets on the board for you to get things moving, and then you get another one late first half with Callum. So, I mean, you get that response, and you get that 2-0 margin going to the interval.
Yeah, like I said, perfect start. The goal is fortuitous, but comes from just sheer perseverance from Aaron, and that's exactly what he brings. And you got to be in the right place at the right time, and he was. Callum's quality shone through. Again, I think if you look at the last couple of weeks with Callum's goal, we got a little bit of luck with the ricochet, but his quality, like I said, shone through with the finish. And again, at times, we still, and we discussed it as a group after the game, we still haven't put a complete performance together. We didn't play particularly well in the second half, but, you know, we never felt sort of in danger. But then we concede, and all of a sudden there's a bit of a panic. But, you know, it like I said, it was exactly what we needed, and the guys were superb to a man.
So you get 3 on the board. I know it was 2-1 after 77, and then you end up getting the third one on the board to give you a little bit more distance there at the end. Now that you've put that one in the rearview mirror, it's a home match against Apotheos, and you don't know. I mean, everybody thought Apotheos was going to be, you know, one of the teams that was going to be right there at the top the entire time. But right now, you don't know which Apotheos team you're going to get week to week.
I think you could say that about everyone in this league. I mean, it's so competitive. A lot can happen in a week. Again, when I spoke to you last week, I was looking for a bridge. And then you fast forward a week. The results on Saturday, again, couldn't have gone any better for us. We didn't particularly use that as motivation. We used our performance and the results from the previous 2 weeks as motivation. But again, the league completely flipped. And like I said, it's back in our own hands. And looking forward to Saturday, we have some wrongs that we need to right from the previous time that we played them. So again, that's our motivation, nothing else. Anything else that comes from that is a bonus in my eyes. Our motivation is righting the wrongs that we put in place a couple of weeks ago.
So then let me take this from 2 steps. The previous match, learning from that previous match, and then learning from the matches in between. How much of that is learning the same things, and how much of that is learning different things about yourself where just Apotheos is concerned? Is it 2 separate tracks of learning, or is it all part of the same one track?
I think it's separate tracks that end up in the same place, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think if we go back to the Apotheos game, having spoken to Dale up at App, it wouldn't have been surprising if we were 4-5-1 up at half time. Again, we completely dominated the first half. And the lesson that we learned and that we kind of put in place a little bit on Sunday night was how do we manage being in front? You know, we can't go all guns blazing to try get the third and leave ourselves exposed, but we also can't sit back and try defend for 45 minutes in this league. It's very hard to do. So it's managing that mentality and putting together a complete performance. To be honest, don't really look at the Appalachian game that much. It was a blip as far as we were concerned. So again, now that we've responded to that, it's something that we don't have to ever think about again, which is nice. But it's just managing positions that we get ourselves into. We've rarely found ourselves behind this summer, which is good. But when we do get in front, we do have a tendency to give up goals. We're yet to have a clean sheet this season. If we can get that on Saturday and come out away with a positive result, you know, you start hitting form at the right time. And when you have a format like we have here with conference playoffs, it's all about who's running into them instead of kind of stumbling into them, so to speak, because that's what we learned last year. We stumbled into the playoffs and we fell at the first hurdle. So, you know, it's all about managing when you get that momentum and rolling with it. So that's what we've kind of learned over the past couple of weeks, but we are raring to go for Saturday.
And then the pickup interview that we had with Charlottetown Hops, the interview that we picked up this past week, was a kind of coming off of a special moment for Julien Sagnol. And he had scored against his old club, App FC, in match week number 7. So we caught up with him as Charlottetown was getting ready to host App FC in the back end of the home and home for match week number 8. So here was the Julien Sagnol interview leading into match week number 8. So, Julien, let me first ask you this. What drew you to reach out to Hops as a new club? What went through your mind here?
Yeah, that's a good one. So last year was my first summer season in the US. So I ended up playing with App FC because my lander coach at the time, Lee Squires, just recommended me to go there. With some NCAA rules, you're not allowed to play for your college coach. So App FC got, Lander, where I play college soccer, got a new coach, which is the current App FC coach, Dale Parker. So I had to find a new team. And I just knew some people around Charlotte, started talking a little bit, heard about that new team. So I just reached out to Matt Spear about what was the project, what was going on with the team, and he just told me to come try out a little bit, and we saw from there. I really liked the coaching staff, so that's how
How
everything started.
how would you compare the college game to the NPSL? How are they the same and how are they different?
Um, so I'd say during the summer, from what I've experienced, a lot of the guys they're here from college to stay in shape. So you're gonna have more like come and go people. They're gonna be here for like a month, then maybe they're gonna have a wedding for a week. So you're not gonna have the same starting 11 every week. Whereas in college, obviously everybody's here. Now for the style of play, we all know that college has that special like sub role with like unlimited sub kind of. So it's like way more intense. I'd say on NPSL, especially in the second half, we can take our times more, like build up a little bit more because you're not going to have that pressure with like strikers rotating every 15, 20 minutes. That's the main difference.
What's it been like for you to see Hops grow this season from basically a startup and getting to know everybody to where you guys have grown? What's it been like to be a part of this process?
It's been great. I mean, from a business perspective, we've seen the home atmosphere. People are coming to watch the game, like these whole beer things with all the brewery around bringing beers and stuff. So people are really into that. So it's super cool to see the kids from CSA coming to our home games and enjoying everything, enjoying talking to us, enjoying watching the games. And for the team, we've had a lot of players getting in late because some school ends a little bit later in May, even June for some. So now we have a quite of a big roster. I'd say almost 30 guys. Everybody's here at practice. So yeah, that's we more players mean more quality. You have competition in practice. So yeah, our level just increased and we got used to what the coach was asking for. So all of those things together just constant growth for the club.
So what's it like playing with the three French teammates as well? What's that like?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, what I really enjoy in the US is that you play with people from all around the world usually. I don't think it's the best idea to only bring, for example, only 11 French people or 11 Spanish people. You need a good mix. So us being four French guys, I think it's a good balance. Sometimes you just need to switch off a little bit in between practices and stuff and just go back and speak French. So yeah, it helps a lot. And even on the fields, we just learn how to play the game the same way. So it makes it a little bit easier, but super enjoyable. I mean, all the French guys, they're bringing a lot of experience to the squad. We have such a young squad when you look at our age, we have a lot of 19 years old, 18 years old that were freshmen and sophomores in college. So having them a little bit more experience from France, it's really helpful.
So then you mentioned App FC. You got to score against them last Saturday. What was that like going up against? What was it like going up against Dale and App and getting a goal?
Yeah, so I mean, it was special because APFC has been so great to me when I was there, the fans, everything. I never got to score at TEDMAC when I played for APFC, so scoring my first goal there against them was special. I mean, I just took it like every other game. We have to deliver. Obviously, if I have to choose what team I want to score against, it's better to score against another team. But in the end, it's the game. I mean, I don't think anybody's mad because I score a goal. That's just how it is. But yeah, really happy. Just got to score a goal in front of the people that helped me a lot when I first got here. So yeah,
And
we
and now you've got them again this Sunday, but it's at CSA. I don't know how much studying you need to do to get ready for this one, but what's it? So you score against them at App this past Saturday, and now you've got the back end. You've got the home and home with them this week. It should be really interesting. What do you anticipate with this match of the second of the home and home?
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one. I mean, now when you look at the rankings, we're fourth and they're probably second or third, I believe. So everybody needs the points with 3 games to go. It's going to be super interesting one. Those back-to-back things, the second time it happens to us this year, after playing Revs twice, it's special because you just know what to expect. You know what the other team's gonna have for you. It's gonna be I don't want to say a similar game, but both fields are turf. They're really big fields, so it's gonna be the same type of game, super intense. It's really hard to just see an outcome for that game, but we know it's gonna be a hustle both for us and for them. And yeah, really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good one for the people to enjoy some good soccer here.
Charlottetown and App FC, definitely the match of the week in match week number 8, 7-goal thriller. And you had 2 goals very, very late to decide the winner in that one. We'll catch you up on that one in the NPSL Week in Review. That'll come out Friday on the network. So thanks for going back into the time machine a little bit for match week number 8 as we get you ready for match week number 9 here in the NPSL. For everybody here at SDH, if you are in any one of the 6 places that can host a match and as a part of the Southeast Conference, please check it out. It's great summer soccer here in the Southeast here in the NPSL. And 2 matches left in the regular season to determine who gets the home playoff games and who gets to advance to the postseason. So for everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. We'll catch up with you as we get you through the NPSL Southeast Conference here in 2023.